Hi, my name is Susanna. I'm here with my mom. The date is December 10th, 2025, and we're recording this interview in Chicago, Illinois. Say hi.
Hello.
Okay, so today I'm going to be asking you 10 questions, and I want you to answer it honestly and to try not to cry or to make me cry, okay?
Well, you want me to be honest or you want me to not make you cry?
Okay. Here are the. Are you ready?
Mhm.
Okay, here's the first question. Do you remember what was going through your head when you first saw me?
Yes.
Okay, what was going through your head when you first saw me?
Well, I remember that prior to you being born, I was very excited and I kept on telling your grandma and your dad to be ready with the camera because since you were my first child, I was expecting to like show a lot of emotion and I didn't mind if they caught me on video like crying. But then you were born so fast that when they brought you to me, I was in shock and speechless for I don't know how long. And I remember thinking, oh my God, I can't believe she's mine. Like she was just inside of me a few minutes ago and now she's here. Like she has finally arrived. So it was very exciting. And you were very tiny.
How tiny?
You were less than 6 pounds when you were born, but you were very long.
Okay. Second question. What was I like as a baby or as a young child?
Well, you have always been very sassy. Like you like to prove your point. You were always daddy's little girl. I remember you used to tell me all the time. I don't know why my dad calls you su reina and me his princess, because he always does whatever I want.
Oh. Okay. Third questions is what were the hardest moments you had when I was growing up?
Honestly, I think that for me the hardest was right after you had been born and it was time for me to go back to work. Uh, that was very hard for me, and I never told anyone because you were a baby. Thankfully, your dad was able to take care of you during the day as I went to work, and then when I came from work, he will go to work. So during your first months of birth, one of us was able to spend time with you at all times. But then, as you were growing up and you were already realizing that I had to leave, sometimes I will wait for you to be like in the kitchen or somewhere else because it was very heartbreaking for me to see you crying when I was about to leave.
Okay. Um, Number four. How was your relationship with your parents?
Well, I think my parents have always expected a lot from all the daughters, but because I'm the oldest, I feel like they had a little more expectations from me, which I guess is always good. Back then I didn't see it that way, but back then I was not a parent, where you always have high expectations from your children and you try to push them to be a better version of themselves on a daily basis so that when you're not around, they still uphold to those values and morals.
Okay. Okay, number five. How do you think we are alike and how do you think we are different?
Well, we are alike in the sense that we both have very strong minds, and sometimes it takes time for, even though we may not have the same opinion, we both are very passionate about proving a point. So the fact that we both are persistent and we like to have our voices heard, we're not one to keep quiet.
Uh-huh.
We're not necessarily mean, but we tend to be firm in our beliefs. And sometimes people take that, we may rub them the wrong way. Um, may I be honest about how we are different?
Yeah.
Well, As you know, you're more like your aunts. Like you like to take your time in the mornings. You wake up early. You love to do your hair, your makeup, look pretty because you are, not because you're my daughter, but you are. And I'm more like, okay, let's take a shower, let's feel clean, let's brush, and let's go. I feel like in that sense, um, the way you take care of yourself, personal and your image, is something that you got more from your aunts, my sisters, than me. Because I'm more like, let's get this done, and I tend to invest less time in my appearance. I'm more like in my mind or the way I portray myself at work.
Okay. Number 6. If you could do everything again, would you raise me differently?
I don't think so. If anything, going back to one of the first questions that you just asked, I think I would have tried to be able to spend a little more time with you, more
Mm-hmm.
quality time, maybe take more pictures together. But as far as raising you and seeing you grow up and become the mature young woman that you're becoming, I think I will raise you the same with the same values. I know that sometimes we don't agree. You wish you could have things your way, but as you know, you're still living under this roof. So
Oh.
I think even though we may not agree at times, I
Uh-huh.
certainly hope that just like me, many, many, many decades later, you will realize when you do have your own children that you mean well.
Okay. Number 7. Can you describe the moment when you saw your child for the first time? I feel like it's like the first question, but like if you could describe it a little differently, that would be much appreciated.
Well, what I can tell you is that you were born extremely fast. Like literally, the doctor was barely arriving. He was barely putting his gloves on, and you were born literally within 4 minutes. I remember grandma coming to me right away, grabbing my hand, saying the baby's healthy, uh, but not all of the babies are born this easily. Make sure you don't get another baby right away.
And when you first saw me, did you think I was ugly?
No, no, God, my
Because
God,
I know
you.
that newborns are ugly, so like I just want to know.
No, you were so cute. I remember you were like your little face. I didn't want to touch you because I was afraid that I was gonna break you. I don't know how to describe it. You were not.
Did I look fragile or something?
I think it was your size. Not only were you tiny, also I remember that you didn't cry right away. So at some point, I was scared that there was something wrong with my baby. A,
Mm-hmm.
because I had not been in that position before, and B, because you were not crying. But they brought you to me. I was holding you. Um, One of the things that I remember that I was very, very scared about is the fact that in the hospital there was still one of those stationary phones,
Yeah.
the old ones.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember grabbing it. I don't remember who I was gonna call, but your dad was holding you, and I accidentally dropped the phone, which to me was quite loud.
Yeah.
But you didn't make any moves or any noise. You didn't cry or anything. So I remember telling the doctor, I think my baby's deaf. And he's like, no, she's just been here for a few minutes. And so I thought maybe I was so afraid that because you were tiny, maybe you hadn't developed correctly or there was gonna be something. But here you are, and no issues.
And it was also a surprise, I think you've mentioned before. Like, not in the interview, but that you didn't know if I was going to be a boy or a girl, right?
Oh, that's right, because we went to 3 ultrasounds, and the very first one happened
Mm.
on Father's Day of 2009.
Uh-huh.
I remember that day because I thought it was gonna be the best of luck. The minute we walked out of the house to go to the hospital, which was
Mm-hmm.
quite early, I found a $20 bill, which I still have somewhere because I thought that was the best of lucks. And that was the first ultrasound. We had three throughout the pregnancy, and you kept on crossing your legs. So the doctors were not able to tell me whether you were going to be a boy or a girl. And we didn't find out until you were born. And of course, your dad was extremely happy. He said you were going to be daddy's little princess.
Okay. Number 8. Where did you grow up and how was that like?
Well, I grew up in Mexico until the age of 12. I quote unquote graduated from grammar school because in Mexico there is only 6 years of grammar school.
Mm-hmm.
So when I came, I was 12. I want to say it was a little difficult at the beginning because, as you know, some children can be mean,
Mm-hmm.
and they made fun of the fact that A, I did not speak English. Little did I know back then that I was gonna fall in love with languages and then eventually study those. But I always, at the very beginning, for the first year, I thought I was not gonna learn it properly. I wanted to go back to Mexico, and even though I was trying my best to speak it properly, my classmates kept on making fun of the fact that I had a very thick accent. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that made me be very self-conscious and very embarrassed. And I will like try not to speak out loud, but I do remember that one of the things that I always liked was reading. And obviously back then I would read in Spanish, but then when I started learning the meaning of words, even though I will not read out loud, I will read books in English to myself, and I
Mm-hmm.
will start grasping the meaning and developing, a stronger vocabulary also in English, to the point that there was a time that I got the highest score in spelling,
Mm-hmm.
and the teacher kept on asking me if I had been cheating or copying from the kid next to me, and I told her honestly, no. You say the word, and I'm able to, obviously with a translator back then, I said, you
Mm-hmm.
say the word, and I'm able to write because I read the words for the spelling test. I don't know the meaning of the word, but I know how to write it. And I got the highest score. I remember that.
Okay, look at you. Okay. Um, Number 9. When did you first find out that you'd be a parent, and how did you feel?
It was 2 days after my birthday.
After
I,
your birthday, 2 days?
it was on December. I'm sorry, not December. My birthday's in February. On February 5th. And I
Uh-huh.
remember because uh, a very nosy co-worker of mine, she wasn't even my friend, but she kept on telling me, not even asking me, she was assuring me that I was pregnant. She was a mother herself already.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember getting a little aggravated with her because instead of talking about work or concentrating on things that we had to do, it's not like she was my close friend, but she would be like, you should go to the doctor because I think you're pregnant.
Do you remember what made her think that, though?
I'm sorry?
Do you remember what?
Yes, I'm about to tell you.
Oh.
So I had gained weight, but I kept on telling her, listen, with all the food that people bring us, because I used to work at an office and people would bring us tamales, cookies, a lot of things. And it was every year that I would gain that much weight. But then during the summer or spring, I will actually, back in the day, I used to exercise a lot. I used to go jogging 4 or 5 times a week. So I will bring my weight down again.
Mm-hmm.
But then in the winter, I will gain weight again. And I did notice that my pants were shrinking, but I thought it was the dryer. And she kept on saying, oh, I think you're pregnant. I think you're pregnant. And I was like, mind your own business. And I think I will know if I was pregnant because I will feel something different in my body, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she said, oh, I don't mean to offend you, but I know that you drink a lot of coffee. And if you were to be pregnant, I wouldn't want the coffee to do something bad to your baby. Why don't you just go check with the doctor to make sure that you're okay? And I remember thinking, since she was my coworker, but she was also my boss's wife, I kept thinking, that's a perfect excuse not to come to work. I'm going to pretend I'm going to the doctor. And then I thought, well, being as nosy as she is, she's going to ask me for the doctor's note. So might as well just go to the doctor and just have him tell me that I'm fine, just a little fat, and go back to work. So sure enough, they tell me that they're going to do some blood work and they're going to collect my urine. And 20 minutes later, the doctor, I still remember his name. His name is Mr. Dr. Christoforidis. He comes into the room and he's like, congratulations. And I have no idea why he's congratulating me. And I'm like, do you know me? It was my first time seeing him. And he's like, you're pregnant. And I remember when he said that, it was like confusing, scary, exciting. I just felt like he was talking to me like in a movie, when someone is talking to you in a tunnel and everything sounds like very far. So I remember telling him, "Are you sure?" And he said, "Yes." So I remember I was gonna go home and tell your dad, but I didn't know how to tell him. So instead, I stopped by a baby store and I got a baby bottle and some little shoes, like gym shoes, Converse. They were red.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrapped them for him and I told him that I had a little surprise for him. And when he opened them, like, the most surprising part is that he said, "Oh, I already thought you were pregnant." And I said, "How do you know?" He's like, "Oh, well, because I was having those antojos, like cravings." Like he was eating really weird stuff, like extremely weird. Like,
Like,
let me give you an example. He will make himself a tuna salad, like 3 cans of tuna salad and vegetables and mayonnaise, the whole thing for him. And then right after that, he will want like a huge bowl of cereal with milk.
ew,
And I thought that
what?
was so disgusting, but he was the one with the cravings, not me. And then, sure enough, even though I had claimed to everyone that I did not feel any different or I knew I wasn't pregnant, according to me, the minute the doctor tells me that I'm pregnant, I start throwing up every day. Every day. And your dad was a little scared of me because I would have mood swings
Mm-hmm.
and I could not tolerate any smell. Like if it was food, I would get angry. If it was perfume, I had to put my perfumes away until you. Back in the day, I used to wear a lot of perfumes, but I had to put them away because even if it was a pleasant smell, I
Mm-hmm.
would just throw up. And your dad, who used to cook, he knows how to cook. He cooks very well. I would come home, and even if he made something delicious, the fact that the kitchen smelled like onion would get me aggravated. And even if he cleaned or mopped with pinol or pine sol, I
Yeah.
would be upset that the house was smelling like anything.
Okay. That was quite the story. um, Number 10. Are you proud of me?
Yes, of course, in more than a way. Every time when I see how far you have come, how now you make your own decisions, some of them not necessarily something that I agree with at times. I understand that you're making your own choices, building your own path, and I'm just glad that we're able to talk through most of the things that we may have a different opinion about. And even though we may not see things the same color, we come to an agreement and we are able to always have a resolution. And, sometimes even if we have to think about it overnight, we always come up with something where we can compromise. And so I am very thankful for that too. Not only am I proud of you, I am very thankful for that matter.
Thank you. I'm really proud of you too.
You're really proud of you?
Of you too.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so the last question is gonna be, if you were to see me like for the last time, what would be your last words to me, or what would be the last thing you would tell me? Like hopefully not, like
Like, you mean for the last time during a period of time or during the last time?
like if it was the last time you were able to see me, like what would you tell me?
Why are you so cruel?
Like
I cannot think of what I would say because
okay.
I think it would be like the first time when I first saw you. Like, I will be speechless.
Okay, but you wouldn't know it's the okay. Okay, no, then you wouldn't
If
be
you
able to plan that. Like
So give me an example. Like, if you were gonna take a trip.
no, like these are the last words. That's what I'm saying.
You mean if I was dying?
Okay, don't put it like that, but like, like
Well, that's the thing. If I don't know they're gonna be your last words, it would be like saying you.
okay, what would you just tell me like?
Well, that you have made me a very proud parent, and that even though I'm older than you, many, many times I feel like I'm the one learning from you. And I cannot explain with words how proud that makes me feel. I thought you said you didn't want to cry.
Hey, stop! Why are you exposing me in the interview? Okay, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for choosing me to interview because I know you had your thoughts.
No, I always knew deep down it was gonna be you. But I love you, and I'm glad that you gave me the time to interview you.
Your mascara's running.
Can you know? Okay. Say bye.
Bye.
Bye.